Hey guys, what's up? Cowboys takes here. On the day when Dak Prescott signed his big contract, when he got his money, when he got finally paid after 2 years, we will take a look at the contract. We'll take a look at the situation to make a decision whether this is good or bad for the Dallas Cowboys. So the thing I like the most about the contract is that it's finally over. All the debates, all the talk about will he get paid? Does he deserve all the money he's asking for? Will he be tagged? Is he the future for the Dallas Cowboys? It's finally over. Put it to bed. We know who the starting quarterback will be for the Dallas Cowboys next 4 seasons. So that's great. I like it. But let's take a look at the numbers. Let's take a deeper look at the situation and the contract. Starting with nothing less than the money. So, I really like the way they structured the contract in the first 2 years, and I think it's giving them a great chance to win now. You got the cap number for this season is 22 million, which is really good. I think comparing it to the other contracts that the quarterbacks around the league are getting. I think that's a great value, and it gives you a chance to build a good roster, to put together a team that will be ready to challenge right now for the big prize. So I definitely like 2021. Even 2022, you're still under 15% of the cap space. So that still puts you in position to surround that with a lot of quality players. Give him a pretty good defense, I guess. And you have a chance. You have a chance to compete. So these 2 years, they sort of created the window, or actually the window for that was always there. Because when he was on his rookie contract, it gave them a great chance to build a strong team around him and use the money they saved on a quarterback position somewhere else. So you've basically extended this rookie window for the next at least a season, probably 2 seasons. So I'm really fine with the way it works for the first 2 years. But starting from 2023 season, I think that's where you starting to get some trouble. You're getting to pay him 47 million, plus you get some sort of, I don't want to call it a dead money, but 2025 he's not under the contract. So if he stays with the Cowboys, there will be a new contract, and you still need to account 13 million for the prorated bonus. So are these fair money? Is this a fair evaluation of Dak's skill and his quality? Well, why don't we take a look and compare that to another quarterback who signed a big contract just a year ago, and that's no one else than the great Patrick Mahomes. So you've seen Dak numbers before. Now you see Patrick Mahomes' number, and you can see it's very close, actually. It's very close. This year, he's getting 24, comparing it to Dak's 22. The next year, he's 31, so that's actually less, 2 million less than Dak Prescott. Then 2023, 2024, where Dak's hitting these 44s, 47s, Mahomes is still costing the Chiefs only 40 million of the cap space. So from this point of view, I can clearly say that either Patrick Mahomes is underpaid or Dak Prescott is well overpaid. Because I'm sorry, Dak, I like you. You're a great lad. You're a great quarterback, but you're nowhere near Patrick Mahomes. So if Mahomes is getting these money, if this is the benchmark, if this is the standard for the quarterbacks to be set, there's no way that Dak Prescott should cost his team cap space wise more than Mahomes will cost the Chiefs. I don't care what happens with in the next 6 years that are remaining on Mahomes' contract, because that's way ahead in the future. And also Dak will in 2025 he will get a new contract late at 2025 latest. He'll probably sign 1, 2 or 3 years down the line, but that will be for more money, I guess. I'm sure it will be, if not close, that I think he'll be somewhere around Mahomes' money at least. That's just my guess. But let's not worry about what happens in the future, because first of all the money that the Chiefs are about to pay Mahomes in the future, they're not guaranteed. So if something goes terribly wrong, and I can't imagine what it should be, but might it be an injury, or will there be a major global economy upset that the cap space will or won't grow as everybody expects to grow? Well, the Chiefs are well covered. The Cowboys are not. For the next 4 years, which is the only comparable period between these two quarterbacks, Chiefs are getting great value, and I think because of the cap, they're really paying their by far their best player a fair amount of money, while Jerry Jones just added another overpaid star to his roster. So from my point of view, when you're getting the value for money, instead of being at the Russell Wilson, Rodgers, Brady, and the other guys' ballpark, I guess the money that these teams are paying for these studs, these are fair money. But I don't think the Cowboys are paying fair money to Dak. They're simply overpaying him, and they've created a small window, which is 2 years, where I believe they got a chance to build a very, very good team where they can spend some money, put the pieces around him, and challenge for the Super Bowl. Starting from 2023, it will get very, very hard, because he will simply eat too much of the cap space and they won't be able to get the players they want. So money-wise, this doesn't look like a good deal. This looks like a very bad deal for the Cowboys. It will hound them down the line, and I'm afraid they've opened a window that maybe 4 years, but I think it's just a 2-year window where realistically they can challenge for the Super Bowl, and they have to win one. After what they've paid to Dak, for him to get a new contract when he turns 30, 31, and the current contract runs out, if he wants a deal similar to this one, he has to win a Super Bowl. There's no other way around. And I'm afraid from 2023, the likelihood of that to happen will get pretty low. They need to draft well this season. Well, they need to draft well basically every single year. But the money they're paying him, regardless of how it is structured, it's still $40 million in average over the next 4 years. And that's way too much. I don't have a problem with teams giving these money to the studs like Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, who, by the way, gives his team discounts every single season. I don't have a problem paying these guys who are game changers, who can carry the franchise on their shoulders, and who can win the games on their own, even without a strong support cast. Dak's not one of these guys. I'm sorry, he's not. I like him. He's a great leader. I'm sure all the guys in the locker room will go and fight for him. I'm sure they will die for him. He's a great leader. He sets the example. He does all the right things, but the production's not there. And I think last 2 or 3 seasons, there's a clear evidence that when he's surrounded with the right talent, when everything's fine, everything works well, he got his own line together, he got the receivers, he got the running game, he looked great, and he can win games. But whenever something starts to go wrong, the O-line, you got some injuries, Zeke's not running the way he used to, some of the receivers may get injured. Whenever he does not have the full support cast, he struggles, and that's reality. First season when he joined the league, he wasn't great, but he was winning games, and he was able to win close games. And over the first 3 years, of his Cowboys career, I think he was best known for being clutch. Whenever the game was close, he always come up with something. He always put together a drive that will win you a football game. But starting from 2019, he's not the same guy. In 2019, if you remember, he had plenty of opportunities in the games against the Saints, against Patriots, the ultimate game against Eagles. He had these chances, and these were numerous chances over and over again to put together a drive that will put you in position to win these games, and he failed. And in 2019, there are no excuses. He got great receivers. The O-line was sort of put together. Yep, Ty Smith missed some time, but most of the season he got his O-line. It wasn't like last season when they were all hurt. The defense wasn't great, but was good enough. It was at least average. So in 2019, you've seen the sample. I think that's the year you want to evaluate, and that's the year why I would never ever give him these money. 2020, only what, 4.5 games, so it's very small sample. But even 2020 doesn't look good. I think he was okay against Rams. He was okay in Seattle, although the last drive, you got to get a touchdown. You can't go for 3 points against Russell Wilson and leave him with 2 minutes or 2 or 3 minutes, and just a single point lead. You got to score a touchdown from that drive. And then all the other games, he was just not good enough. A lot of empty calories. Yeah, he posted great numbers, but most of his yards, they're coming in games where they're trailing badly. These are double-digit leads by the other team. So I think he's a master of picking apart the prevent defense. No one does it better than Dak. But when the game is tight, when the game is on the line, no longer he can does his magic. He doesn't win you games. He's not clutch anymore. And you don't want to pay that amount of money for a player that struggles when it counts the most. Okay, so having said all of that, were there ever any alternatives? Was there another option that Jerry Jones had other than paying him? Well, many people believe this was the one and only option, and that's why, at the end of the day, Jerry Jones had to cave in and give Dak his money. A lot of talk was about the money that the Cowboys were offering and that Dak rejected. All the talk was that the difference was somewhere around $5 million. Well, I don't believe that's the case. When you look at it from the bigger picture, well, let's imagine you're Jerry Jones. You give him an offer for 35, 36 million in average, and he comes back and he said, no, I want 40. Well, if you really want him to be a quarterback, you just pay him the money. What's the difference? If you pay him 4 more, 5 more, what's the difference? Well, the difference is someone like Anthony Brown. That's the sacrifice you have to make. That's the opportunity cost. If you give him 5 more, you need to release one of your average starters on the defense. Will it make your team less competitive? No. Maybe just a little bit, but getting the quarterback you want and you believe in is far greater than one average player on the defense or offense, whoever it is. So I don't think that was ever the question. The question always was, are the Cowboys willing to pay Dak 30+ million? That was always the question. And I don't believe they ever wanted to do it. Somehow, some way, and the last season might be the biggest reason why they finally cave in, because they've seen what the team looks like without Dak. Maybe they finally said, okay, we just have to do it. We don't want to risk letting him go and then spending next 4 or 5 years searching for a new quarterback. But the alternative, the options they had, was to take someone like Andy Dalton, Cam Newton, maybe Nick Foles, maybe Marcus Mariota, maybe Fitzmagic. That'd be fun. I'd love to see Fitzmagic playing for the Cowboys. Take one of these guys. They will cost you no more than $10 million a year. So comparing this to Dak for 40, suddenly you got $30 million to spend. And I believe with $30 million to invest in your defense, you can do a lot of things. You can get 3 to 4 quality starters, really quality players. Because in average, you give them 7-8 million. If you get 4 players for this kind of money, if you spend well, find the right players, well, you can have a pretty good defense. Or if you take one game changer for 20 and then get another player for 10 or 2 players for 5, this can change all the fortune. This can give you a reliable defense, and with all the weapons you got on the offensive side of the ball, giving you the O-line, giving you the free receivers, I believe you can put together a very good team. And actually, this team can be better than the team you can put together with Dak when you pay him $40 million in average. So I believe this was always an option for the Cowboys. And actually, if I was the GM, that's the option I take. That's the option I take, really. Get a cheap quarterback. I know he's just sort of a backup or bridging quarterback, but get someone cheap and put together a strong team with strong defense. I believe the $30 million are way too much, and if you invest the money right, your team will be better. Because if you look at the quarterbacks who are getting paid more than $30 million, most of them, they really deserve the money. All the Russell Wilsons, the Aaron Rodgerses, Tom Brady's, Patrick Mahomes, all these guys, they deserve the money. And these are money well spent. The value for money is there. And these guys, even if you pay them that amount of money, still gives you enough upside. They can win the games on their own, so you don't need such a strong team around them. They make the players around them better. Dak doesn't give you this. I think he's closer to the players like Wentz, Goff, who got paid over $30 million, but after a couple of years, their teams realized, no, we're not getting the right value, we need to get rid of them. And they were willing to sacrifice a lot of that money just to cut bait and start over. So my worry is, after 2 years, we might be having the same conversation for the Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott. Time will only tell. I hope I'm wrong. I hope Dak proves me wrong and he sort of lives up to the big contract he got. So, regardless of what I've said, good luck. Good luck for Dak. Good luck for the Cowboys. And I hope this big decision, after a few years down the line, will prove to be the final piece for the Super Bowl challenge. Thanks for watching the video. If you like the content, if you agree or disagree, please give us some comments to this video so we know what you think. If you want to see more, check our channel, become our subscribers, and see you next time.